How's it going? So this is just some thoughts on Ascension. Increasingly there's more talk on the old interwebs about Ascension, Ascended Masters, Enlightenment, and so on. I think that people are starting to realize that this is not across the board. There was a time, I think, where people thought, we're all going to be enlightened, we're all going to be ascended, it's going to happen in the next few years, just carry on. And now I do think that people are starting generally, I know people is just, there's a wide range of people, but they're starting to realize that anything worthwhile in life has to be worked for, and to ascend takes a lot of work. So my understanding is that not everyone is going to ascend, and perhaps down the line, as in hundreds of years, or as we all evolve it and again, and we come back again and again and again. Right now, there is a small percentage of people on the planet who have chosen to come back here at this time in these experiences, who are approaching higher levels of consciousness. That's not necessarily ascension. I don't know what ascension is. I don't know if there is a line that you suddenly cross, bang, and you're ascended. My understanding is that it's ongoing. It's why I'm hesitant to use the word awakening or awakened, because a lot of people like to think that they are awakened. It doesn't take much to realize that they're not. If you're on Twitter, you're not fucking awakened. That's my theory. The awakened people are not tweeting that they're awakened. I think that's a good gauge. So we're all awakening. We're all ascending, hopefully. We're rising up very gradually and very slowly. But the energy on the planet right now is very conducive. It's a wave that we can ride that can take us higher. Whereas trying to get to these higher places, in the 1970s or 80s or 50s, took a lot of work, and a lot of people spent a lot of time and energy meditating or doing this work, and they'd progress a little bit, and now people do a bit and they're leagues ahead. It happens fast. And it happens for a couple of reasons. One is that the energy is conducive to that, and if we tap into it and capitalize on it and make use of it, we can progress and heal quite quickly. The other is that some people are ready. They have chosen to come here at this time, and if you like, they're receiving a download at the moment that is activating them and awakening them. And listening to videos, hopefully, like this, or to certain people or different channels and so on, will help to activate them and wake them up. That's my understanding of my role, or part of my role here. So the word ascension was something I avoided for quite a while. Some things I do try to tend to stay away from until I have my own experience of, or until something clicks and it actually makes sense. Sometimes through my own journeys or meditation or information that comes to me, very quickly things just click and just fall into place, and it's bang, bang, bang. Someone sends a video, someone sends another video, another person sends a video, I read an article, I see a tweet, and it all just clicks and it goes, okay, that makes sense. And it doesn't mean it's fact or it's the way it is. It's just an interpretation that I now have, that I can try to experience. So my understanding at present of ascension is that I previously thought that to ascend to a higher level, we would move to a different plane or a different dimension. We would leave here. We would leave what we see here. We would still be on Earth, but on a higher Earth or a higher dimensionary plane. Now I understand, or my understanding is, that all these planes obviously overlap. All these dimensions overlap, and we live in all of them. We have an astral body, we have a third, fourth, fifth, etc. dimension body. Some of them are inactive, or they're unconscious, they're asleep. and some of them are doing all the work. So most of us are kind of stuck in the third dimension. Now, my understanding is that as our energy raises, we activate our fourth dimension body, which is a higher observation of, let's say the state of the world. So in the third dimension, we're out on the streets. We want this politician out. We want the next guy in. We want things changed. We want the earth healed. We want to save people. We got to change this system. That's the third dimension. We're in reactive mode, survival mode. We're fighting. We're trying to get things our way. We're trying to make things happen. We're struggling. We're unaware of energy. We're unaware, or we may be aware of, but we're not tapped into, and we're not working with our higher selves, our higher energy, our higher consciousness. We're trying to fucking do it all ourselves. So as we move gradually into the fourth dimension, we can observe. We can observe the marchers, the complainers, the protesters, the chaos. It's okay. We can just see it for what it is. We don't need to engage in that now. We don't need to be sucked into it. We can see that it's all just part of an unfolding. It's just a process. There's no need to get emotionally charged and drained and sucked into that world. And then the fifth dimension, my understanding, is love, is a loving energy and understanding that all of this is perfect. It's all just an unfolding. It's reams of beings and spirits who came back to have certain experiences and are having those experiences. Be it war or trauma or poverty or love or light or whatever it is, they're having their experiences. It's not wrong. It's not bad. It's not evil. It's just an unfolding. It's a learning experience. We do things that are, as we would term, destructive until we evolve past that. It's not bad or wrong. It's just an experience. So from that fifth dimension, we can see that we're all just children. We're all just in the computer game. We're doing our thing. We're getting our experience. And hopefully, gradually, very slowly, we're evolving past that, in inverted commas, destructive behavior. For myself, I would see that I flick between third, fourth, fifth. That's my awareness at the moment. I would think that I have higher dimensional experiences as I do now have communication with higher beings, with my higher self. There's some channeling at times, there's healing and stuff. I don't know at this point where that comes from. But my third dimension, I'll be on Twitter and I'm pissed off at voters and Trump supporters and non-Trump supporters and anybody. My fourth dimension is I can see that all this is just a game and I'm not interested. I don't have time for it, I don't have interest. And my fifth dimension, I can see that it's actually all perfect. We're all just having a great time. We're all just evolving. We're playing the game and there's nothing wrong. So I would dip between all three and gradually, if I keep doing the work, I'll gradually leave the third dimension. I'll spend more time in the fourth and fifth and so on. So that's my understanding of Ascension. That it's a gradual process. We gradually move up these dimensions, these higher states. But there's work involved. There's consciousness and focus and discipline involved in not getting sucked into these things. But if we do, it's okay. It's just a ride, as Bill Hicks said. It's just an evolution. It's okay. We'll get sucked into the lower shit again and again and again until we grow out of it, until we're exhausted by it and we just no interest. That's okay. So how long does this take? Well, there's no rush. The way I see these things or look at these things is that I'm here now and I will be here for many lifetimes ahead. My understanding is I have work to do here, that I will be back. It will be multi-generational. So I'm not in any rush, in a sense, to get the website working and get these videos perfect. And it's all just an evolution. It's unfolding. And in a week or a month, I might decide, I'm not doing the videos anymore, or the website needs to be changed, or it'll happen in time, different layers, different steps, different changes. And then I'll grow old and I'll probably die if I don't master death. I'll be reborn, I'll do it again, and I'll be a step, hopefully, higher and higher and higher, and on you go. So I used to have an unmerciful drive to get it now. I want to be enlightened now. And now I'd say I do have an unmerciful drive. I still have that drive. I'm not where I want to be. I want to be higher. I seek more. I know I need to be in a higher place. I just know that instinctually. But that doesn't necessarily mean I need to be ascended or enlightened. That will come in its own time, if it does. And if it doesn't, I'm just seeking the place that feels right. So I hope that was of interest. Thanks for listening. Be free to sign up to a newsletter. I would put a lot more information in that, bits more information about what I'm doing. There's a link below. And give it a like, a share, and I'll talk to you. Thanks.